It's pure ideology. Pure ideology.
Do you want to feel like you're changing the world? And do it without stepping on anyone's toes, without making people in power uncomfortable. Do you want to spend a lifetime hopping between conferences, symposiums, and panel discussions? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you belong in a tank. Not that tank, a think tank. But don't worry, because you'll be shooting policy missiles at the enemy soon enough. But how would you know which think tank is the right fit for you? That's where we come in. We're going to tell you which leading Indian think tank you're most suited to join. So let's get started, shall we? Center for Policy Research. We could spend days talking about the great work CPR does, but if you want to know what CPR is all about, here's how we'd describe it. It's like the NDTV of think tanks. And I don't just mean they're both part of the Congress, liberal, secular, intellectual gang. They are. What they also have in common is a delightfully cozy relationship with big business. Now, this has led them to take money from some really rich people that some critics may think might be involved in activities that are inimical to and undermine the lofty ideals of these great liberal institutions. NDTV, if you don't know already, took money from, well, let's not go there. CPR, on the other hand, has taken truckloads of money from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which for years invested and earned money from fossil fuel companies. And CPR, well, they really care about the environment. They care about it so much that they're willing to take money from people who benefit from killing the environment in order to save the environment. Sure, some people may think that's kind of hypocritical, but they just call it living in the real world. Anyway, if you still aren't certain if CPR is the right place for you, here's how you'll know for sure. Think of Pratap Bhanu Mehta, Shashi Tharoor and Vox's Ezra Klein sitting in a room, chatting, talking about big ideas. If the phrase intellectual orgasm popped into your head thinking about this hypothetical meeting of great minds, we reckon you start typing that cover letter to CPR right away. India Foundation. Where there's an NDTV, there has to be a Times Now. And in the think tank world, that would be the India Foundation. And we're not saying that because they're BJP partisans or anything. They are an independent research center after all. So what if there's like just one BJP guy on their board of governors? Oh, okay. Maybe a couple or maybe three. Okay, there's another one and another one. I don't think there's any more. That's it, right? Shaurya Doval. Why does that name sound familiar? Just let me look this up. Oh, he's the son of Ajit Doval, the National Security Advisor and the guy who basically runs the foundation. Fine, so what if 6 of 12 governors are BJP guys? They're independent, okay? And they only wish to articulate Indian nationalistic perspective on issues. We should be thanking them for their great service to the nation. And you too would be a perfect fit among our nationalist intellectual troops if you think anyone to the left of Praveen Togaria is a raging pinko, commie, Marxist, jihadi, urban Naxal scum, which they totally are. Center for Civil Society. If it's fundamentalists of a different nature that tickle your brain, look no further than the Center for Civil Society. I mean, these guys just love individual freedom and the free market to death. They're crazy for them. And you know they're the real deal because their board is a pantheon of free market heroes. Urjit Patel, Gurcharan Das, Jagdish Bhagwati, Surjit Bhalla, Swaminathan Iyer, Ishar Ahluwalia, Meghna Desai and others. All big names coming together for the singular purpose of ending arbitrary government tyranny and replacing it with a glorious neo-feudal corporate utopia. And to fulfill this noble vision, they will take anyone's money, even the Atlas Network, an American organization that allegedly has ties with far-right parties in Latin America. There's also the Federalist Society that funds CCS, which has helped propel the crazy rightward shift in the American judiciary. Strange bedfellows for an organization that stands for liberty and freedom, you may think. But what you don't get is that all these great organizations are working towards a common goal, a higher, greater form of liberty, different from what you and I think of it. They want to usher in an era of unrestrained liberty for the rich to rule over us modern day serfs, and for us serfs the liberty to worship them and survive off of their scraps. What could possibly be better than being ruled by a bunch of people who read Ayn Rand seriously and have never thought that her books would be of greater use to humanity as toilet paper? Observer Research Foundation. ORF is often seen as the Reliance think tank, the implication being that the foundation is solely dedicated to furthering Mukesh Bhai's interests. Nothing could be further from the truth. ORF also furthers the interests of its other benefactors, which include, among others, legendary war profiteers Lockheed Martin and BAE Systems, digital monopolists Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, and Uber, the climate change denying Heritage Foundation, the money laundering accused Wadhwan brothers of DHFL, and of course, ours and Jeffrey Epstein's old friend, acquaintance, Mr. Bill Gates, an all-around exceptional group of people.
Very fine people.
In collaboration with the Ministry of External Affairs, ORF organizes the annual Raisina Dialogue in Delhi, a glamorous affair attended by heads of states, intellectuals, and business leaders, at which all these important people gather together to try and offer solutions to problems they themselves have created, an ingenious, self-sustaining way of ensuring their own continued relevance. The Raisina Dialogue also offers a great opportunity for budding policy wonks to rub shoulders with the lizard people that rule us. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't really care about ideology, ethics, or improving the lives of anyone except your own, it is the perfect place to cultivate a powerful network that will help you gain enormous influence. That is the allure of ORF. It is a gateway to the halls of power, a sort of portal to the palace of the lizard people. And if you want to join them there, it's time you start strangling your conscience, because having that is one thing that is really frowned upon at ORF.